Hey everyone, this is Mitch from BitBlock Systems. We're helping companies help their people work from home today, and what I'm going to do here is just review the information that is down there below in detail, presuming you're on our webpage and not our YouTube channel. If you are on the YouTube channel, we'll put the link down there and you can go there. You know what I mean. At any rate, this is a lot of information, and it's going to be a little raw so that we, can get back to helping people fix their stuff. So, basically, with the COVID-19 crisis, we've got a lot of people, a lot of companies that are trying to transfer to working from home in a hurry, and I'm just going to review the ways that we can do that and maybe help people make sense of what their options are. What I'm going to do is very brief. There are more details below. There's detailed pros and cons and things to consider and that sort of thing. So this is really just the the quick audiobook way of getting the information out there in case you just need the Coles notes. So at any rate, one of the things that is important to be aware of right now is that with the high call volumes, numbers of people that are trying to make changes and everything else, submitting a ticket is the easiest way to get the ball rolling. There is a link down there, and you can definitely send us a ticket, and we will call you back if we need additional information, and that'll help us get the job done for you as quick as possible. Feel free to call anytime, but we're not keeping people on hold forever. If people call and we're not able to grab the call right away, we're sending it to voicemail, which starts the ticket on its own, and then we'll be able to follow up with you and get the additional information we need. At any rate, global telecom networks right now, like the world over, are seeing like the crisis, unprecedented is the word of the day. Networks, internet, everything, call volume is up 20 to 30% in some locations, and that is causing a lot of congestion, a lot of all circuits busy. We are not currently exceeding our capacity and our ability to route calls, but you might be calling somebody or calling from somebody who is having congestion in their area, in their network, with their carrier, with their cell, or you might be calling a person who is in a cell that is congested. So it's important to keep that in mind, and if you fail to make a call, wait a few minutes, try again. We are keeping on top of the situation, but if you think you've noticed any kind of a problem, please let us know. Submit a ticket, send us a message on Facebook or Twitter. Our Zendesk ticket system is distanced from our network, so even if there is something happening, it is there to collect your support requests and notify our team. Okay. Toll free. That's another thing to keep in mind, is that toll-free networks are completely separate from traditional sort of telephony networks, in that the calls take different paths. They come in alternate routes, let's say, and because of that, you may find that a toll-free number might provide people another way to reach you when the original number is congested, or they're calling from a congested area, but calls to a toll-free number might continue. Keep in mind that we can put toll-free numbers in other locations, other countries even. In North America, we can place numbers in Canada or the US networks, and around the world there are other strategies for toll-free and local number access to provide your teams an easy way to get a hold of you when their own international lines might be congested. Okay. As we migrate to work from home, one other note, there's a separate commentary like this, particular to SIP trunk users. Okay, this is for people who are using our phone systems, which have certain features and can be set up to give you an easy way to migrate to work from home. People using SIP trunks are somewhat reliant on their phone system unless we make some changes, but we're going to run through this one first, okay? So when we're working from home, one of the things we don't want to forget is if we have a fax. Fax service, if you're using an adapter to send faxes to a machine, if there's not going to be someone there to read that paper or refill the paper, you might want to consider migrating that line to our fax to email service, FlexFax. So we can do that without extra cost. It's going to provide you the ability to receive faxes in parallel. They'll go to email. You don't have to worry about wasting the paper. You can forward the document to whoever needs it. It's a much more efficient way to deal with faxes, especially if no one's there to read them. Voicemail. We want to make sure that your voicemail is set up. You have an unavailable greeting which plays when you don't answer. You have a busy greeting that plays when you use the technology like Find Me. We'll talk about that later. And it also plays if you don't answer and you're on another line. And then you have a name greeting, and that is what your name is. Now, sometimes when people have assumed a new role or traded positions in the company, they might not have recorded all those greetings. We have a tool, Phone Ops, which will help your company administrator, your office manager, whoever is in charge of this sort of thing, to basically review that everybody's greetings are current. And also set things like voicemail to email. There's a lot of options on that and a lot of ways to make it work for you. If you choose to leave the messages in your voicemail box, you have to be aware that there is a limit on the mailbox, 100 messages. And when the mailbox fills up, it won't be taking more. So you can either convert to use email 100% and not dial in, or if you want to have that capability of dialing in to make sure you didn't miss any email notifications, then you can leave the messages on the voicemail box and then just dial in and review and delete them as you're able. There's also a few other options on voicemail, like transcription and voicemail to SMS, which is another way to deliver messages if you don't have email access on your mobile. A lot of different things like that, and a lot of details down there. One of the things that you can do if you're migrating from home, of course, is just basically pick up your phone and take it home. If you choose to do that, if you don't have a power adapter for your phone and you don't have a PoE switch or power over Ethernet switch at home, you might need one. Let us know if we can help. They are all standards-based tools. And the phones that you have likely use a 5-volt power adapter, but let us know if you need help sourcing those. Most of the phones that you're using right now are going to be corded phones, which means you're going to need a network cable to connect to your router or your network switch. You might have cables in the walls, just like at the office, but many people would know if they have that, and if you don't, you might be running a longer cable to reach the router. Let us know if you need help with that. We're shipping out cables and stuff to people. An alternative to that might be a cordless phone. Cordless phones do not use Wi-Fi. There are Wi-Fi phones, but that's another story. Cordless phones use something called DECT, which is a digital radio standard that allows the phones to basically change frequencies and hop around interference and that sort of thing. When a DECT phone is set up, the base gets plugged into your router and the phone connects to the base wirelessly. That gets away from cables and all that kind of stuff, but it still gives you the office phone functions like putting people on hold, doing call transfers. It works great for queues and that sort of thing. One of the other options, of course, is using a soft phone. We have instructions for setting those up, and we can migrate a hard phone type account to support a soft phone, and we can help you set that up as well. There's documentation and all that kind of stuff available. Soft phones, though, they run on your cell phone or on your PC or on your tablet, so you have to figure out how you're going to use that phone. Do you have a speaker or do you have a headset that you can use? Again, if you need anything, let us know. But those things will often mean that your computer or your cell phone or whatever you're using the soft phone on are going to be part of your phone system now, and that means that if you have firewall software on there, or if you have malware, or you have a computer that's just too busy because you do a lot of things with it, you may find that your call quality suffers, and that's a case where when you run into that trouble, that we might want to look at doing a migration to a cordless phone or something like that if we can't resolve the issue. For really light users, there's often some options people look at, like call forwarding, but not now. Call forwarding is bad in general, because a call comes in, and then to forward that call, another call goes out, and that second call ties up two phone lines. So every time you call forward a line, you're using two phone lines, and then if that call is forwarded, another two phone lines. And that's part of the reason for all the congestion that's going on, is the sheer volume of people who've call forwarded. Next, there's a technology called, before we leave forwarding, the other thing is, chances are the call won't get through. With the cellular networks being busy, with the landline networks being busy, that forwarded call can go nowhere, and it can often get to a greeting like all circuits busy, or the cellular customer is unavailable, and then they don't even have the option to leave you a voicemail. So that's a good reason not to use call forwarding. At any rate, follow me. Follow me is an option on our system, often referred to as twinning or mirroring, and basically what happens there is that when your desk phone rings, another copy of that call is spun off to reach another device, like your cell phone. Again, similar to forwarding, it's bad right now because it's wasting two lines, and if you're not incredibly fast to jump on that cell phone call, it's all for naught anyways. And with the delays, you might only hear it ring for a second or two. So the third and final option in this, sort of zero hardware, zero software, zero effort type setup is using something called Find Me. Now, Find Me works by having calls that come to your voicemail be able to be sent optionally to your cell phone. So on reaching your voicemail, you would play a message to the customer, something like, sorry I'm not available, we're working from home these days due to the COVID-19 pandemic. If your call is urgent and you really need to try and reach me on cell right away, press 1, the call will go to my cell. If we're unable to connect for some reason, the call will come back here to be routed to my voicemail. Just be patient if you choose that option. And if they press 1, they'll ring your cell, if we can get to your cell. If we can get to your cell, fantastic. When you answer the call, you're going to be prompted. You've got a call, press 1 to take it. If you press 1, you'll be connected. If you don't press 1, the caller will return to the busy greeting. And so that gets us back to why it's important to have good voicemail setup. Make sure you audit those voicemail greetings, make sure you check and make sure they're getting delivered properly. It's a good thing for business continuity and all that kind of good stuff. And we will cover SIP trunks and options for people on SIP trunks separately. If you're on YouTube, there's a comment section down below. You can tell if there's any other way we can, provide you some information to help. There will also be a link back to the website, and if you're on the website, you can submit a ticket if you need help with the migration. You can read the details and the rest of the document that follows below this video. And if you think this information can help anybody, please forward it on, and stay safe out there. And thanks for watching or listening or whatever you're doing. Okay, stay safe. Thank you. BitBlock Systems, www.bitblock.com.